So probably very few people who want to just live in the mud. There are people who just like the mud. Zion will come out of the mud, and its source, though, is not its destination. Its destination is very high. And so oftentimes you'll hear in the scriptures about going to the mountain, because mountains were used as an approximation of temples. And so one of the features we have in the Rocky Mountains is we've got some low places that aren't actually low. They're like sitting at 5,900 elevation. But then we have some higher places. And so where we're sitting right now is one of our targets, as the Lord provides. And the objective is always to improve your lot in life. And so what we're doing is part of that process. We're leaving Babylon and the Babylon ways and doing something unusual. But the objective...
Hold on, the razor's cooling off.
Razor's making noise.
He had a climb getting up here.
So the objective is lofty. Where we start, like pioneers who came here, some of them lived in caves. Some of them, for the first season, some of them lived underneath their wagons for the first season. So that's low. That's like with the mud. But
that's
soon,
where we were down there.
That's where we were down there.
The base camp.
But eventually they started going up and cutting wood and building structures that were more familiar to their lands in Sweden or in Norway or in Germany. And they would start building up. And they did it without banks, huge investments that keep people bound. And so this over here, Stephen just took me on a tour here, is one of the...
Yeah, this is the...
Tell us about it.
Okay, this is the... Woo! This is the 180 acres that we want to acquire. The entrance is down here. It loops around. The pond is over there. Beautiful. You've seen the pictures. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And we've got the pine forest. We pulled up in here the other day, and there was a great horned owl that flew out of here. There are actual bear scratch marks at the spring over there. There are bear in here. There's elk, deer, all kinds of wildlife. And a beautiful feature of this property is that it goes up and then it plateaus out on top, 40-acre flat plateau. What could we do with that for the future, right? You're way up here. So this is the goal. Down in the mud camp, Zion's base camp down there, that's where we start. Start building your Zion's camp down there. We start raising the funds. We need the earnest money heroes. That's people that are putting $5,000 in an envelope and saying, I'm an earnest money hero. We need about 10 or 15 of you. We give that earnest money to the property owner, and that tells them, hey, we're serious. We want this piece of property, okay? If you got money, come out and see what we're doing and be a part of this vision. It's beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Look at the pictures again. Pretty soon, we'll work our way up here. Now we've got another 1-acre piece that I mentioned, and that's down just a little ways, but you're further up here on the hill. A 1-acre piece right on the top of that red.
Which is already owned.
That's right there. We own that.
That's part of Zion.
Yeah, now here's the thing. You own that.
Yeah.
Get up there, Craig.
Yeah.
You own that.
So the thinking is way different. We have people going like, oh, so when I give you $99, that's like 0.6 acres for my money. And both Steve and I are like, they don't get it. No, the full 10 acres, that's yours collectively. So when you...
Plus this one.
Now
that's a buildable lot.
Yeah. And
permanent structures.
And as we build more, it's also yours. And what you do as a collective, the same thing you do as a family. It's familyism, not socialism. And you negotiate those things. Hey, can I be in this room now? And so, because so-and-so moved out. And so you're already familiar with the processes. If you live in a loving family, there's a lot of things you get for free. It's like hard to believe. Like I get up and mom's got breakfast. What do you pay for that? Nothing. I was born into this family.
We're going to give you electricity. We're going to bring you water. We're going to bring you firewood. We're going to bring the propane truck to you. We're going to bring you firewood. We're going to bring the septic sewer truck to your camp. We're going to provide you a greenhouse. We're going to have eggs, goat's milk. We as a collective of Zion's Camp builders and those pioneers are going to work together.
And I have experience with this. Stephen does. I've lived on a family commune. My family laughed because they're standard LDS, like I am. I was born again, so just whatever that might mean to you. But I live in a collective. It's a family trust. That's Zion Central for me. That's how I refer to it. And so we've been building on that for a lot of years. So it's quite developed. Now we're expanding out because God is having us do that. But it's the same principle. I start treating people like family. I start treating my brother Stephen like family, and because he's part of the family of God. And as I've done that, he's brought me into the circle over time. Over time, you develop these relationships, and they're called friendships, and you're familiar with them. Friends can be like family. In fact, sometimes friends are better than family. All right? And so you have to kind of go with hope into a friendship, like, I hope this works, right? But the risks that we're trying to mitigate the risks. The risks aren't that heavy. Come on in, see if you can live by that person or that person.
Right. Now, let me point out, Greg, you can see the 10-acre base camp way down here. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. I don't know. We're up here and it's kind of smoky today. Mount Nebo's on fire. So it's way down there. I got a bright screen because of the sun behind me. But come on out. Take a ride in the Razor. Hey, if you got some money, we need you. We need you to help us build our earnest money so we can lock this in and give us another 6 months to actually come up with the rest of the money. That's how you can be a hero. Hey, if you just want to come out and build a chicken coop, that's another type of being a hero. And wow, I should have cleaned the dust off of this screen before I started.
I think it'll be fine. That's Zion in the mud.
Right.
So if you don't have money, but you feel God's calling you, come. We negotiate. That's what family does. Like, hey, Dad, could I use the car for a while? And we negotiate.
The thing is, what do you have to contribute?
Yep.
Hey, what are your talents? What are your gifts? What are your abilities? Okay? Bring them to Zion. Zion's camp. Let's do this.
Or don't. We leave it to God. The people who are going to be coming, both Steve and I are pretty relaxed. Like, we're not doing all this. God's providing and opening up opportunities, but we're not trying to manipulate it. We're just letting it happen. So we put the ads out there, and then people do what they want to do. And so we can run pretty casual.
Yeah, and how I know that I'm on the right track is when I get a lot of
hate mail,
a lot of just vile comments from the social media and the beast. You don't get it.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to get everyone. I'm not trying to sell it to everybody. Those with eyes to see and ears to hear will get it.
Yeah.
They'll see it.
And the rest of you, we love you. I mean, it's like, it's funny, but quit being so wrapped up. Just go find somebody else.
To harass.
But if you want to do that, come on, bring it on. It's a free open internet. But
now you're on the private group. I'm not posting this out into this.
Yeah.
If you've made it to this group, it's just because, hey, you're investigating, you want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
You heard about some potluck that's happening, but hey, you didn't make it here.
Yeah.
But maybe next week, maybe the week after that, you'll come out. Once you start getting, okay, well, at least let's go check out these two weirdos out here.
Yeah.
I think they're going to build Zion.
I'll go talk to them. So I told Stephen, I said, it's the curious people. Some people aren't very curious. They're, he and I would be. If we saw people like us doing this, we'd be like, I gotta go meet that guy. And not because like, oh, here, let me give you my $99. No, let's just talk. What are you guys doing? Let's go for a drive in the Razor. And then we would get to know and say, oh, you know what? This looks real. and then we would talk about our concerns or whatever. Those are curious people, and another word for it is they have charity. They have kindness, they have long suffering, gentle, they're not like all freaking on you. And that's kind of who we're looking for, because others won't be able to abide it. We wouldn't be able to abide somebody who can't be a little flexible and curious. That's the main thing. And we can't put that inside somebody. God does.
That's right.
Through circumstances.
Look how beautiful the maples are changing color. The shrub oaks starting to change color. It's just gorgeous up here.
Very peaceful. And that's what we're fundamentally, the thing that matters kind of like most to me is we're offering a different way of living. And it may take you a while to transition to that, because you may be really heavily invested in Babylon, and your spouse may. But this is a way to just kind of put a little finder out there and come try it.
Hey, tell them they don't have to live here.
Yeah, you don't have to live here.
You can still live in the city, but come out on the weekends.
It's the weekend thing. It's like you have a farm place you can go, and you can meet with people, or you can just kind of just huddle in your little thing, and we can just say they don't like to be bothered, and that's fine too. We work with all kinds of different people, and the thing is, though, there's a different way to live. There's a way where you can wake up and say, I don't have a mortgage. I don't owe anything. I don't owe anybody anything. I just wake up and I'm going to put some more mud on my hut or fix my trailer up.
You own your own home, you own a chunk of land.
And you take a deep breath, you look around, you go like, it's like I'm a pioneer. The pioneers came here and they have time to stop and get a burger. They may have to chop a little wood to get it. Now we're going in and we're going to go watch the drive-in in Mount Pleasant and go to Wheelers. It's a special day, and because I live on the low. That's where God has taken me. But I feel the peace of the low. So that's why the mud, like if I can wake up every day, if I'm a little muddy, that's okay. If I don't have a mortgage, if I don't have the pressures that I used to. And God will prepare his people. So if you're prepared to do this, fine. If you're not, you might have to, you might be doing well in Zion. For you, all may be well. Those are the people whose lives are most at risk. If that's working for you, whatever it is that the world's offering, that's my biggest warning, is that ain't good. But most people are really struggling to make it. This is just an option. It may not be yours. It may be that you come and see what we're doing and you find a better way. You say, I see what these guys are doing, but I don't like who they are. Well, what we're saying is, go do another thing. We'll help you. If you want to communicate with us, hey, I just want to take your model and do it somewhere else. We're going to do that because Stephen and I are prototypers and engineers for Zion. So a lot of things we'll do, we're going to be sharing all the way through the Rocky Mountains as people replicate kind of what we're doing here. Collectives that buy property together. That's when God gives us that. We're just starting. And so.
Right on. Okay. Over and out. Thank you.
Yep.